I want you to imagine something. Imagine you wake up one day and finally know without doubt where your life is going. No more drifting, no more guessing, no more waking up tired of a life you never chose. Just a clear, burning vision pulling you forward every single day. That is what this message is about. How an ordinary person builds an extraordinary life with one clear vision, relentless work, and the courage to ignore the people who say that's impossible. The power of a clear vision. Success does not begin with talent. It does not begin with money, or with parents who understand you, or with perfect conditions. It begins with a decision. This is who I will become. This is the life I will build. Arnold Schwarzenegger grew up in a small Austrian town, in a country still recovering from war. His parents wanted him to have a normal life, to stay in the village, to have a safe job. But he looked around and knew deep in his bones that normal was not his destiny. One day, as a kid, he saw a film about America. Giant skyscrapers, massive bridges, wide highways. In that moment, he felt it. That is where I'm going. That is the world I will live in. Later, he walked past a small store, saw a bodybuilding magazine with Reg Park on the cover, Mr. Universe, Hercules in the movies, and he said to himself, "This is the blueprint for my life." He decided, I will become a champion bodybuilder. I will go to America. I will be in movies. I will be rich and famous. From the outside, it looked ridiculous. A skinny kid from a tiny village dreaming of Hollywood and world titles. But from the inside, for him, it was already real. His mind had traveled there long before his body did. That is the secret of vision. The moment you decide where you are going, your life stops being random. Every choice, every sacrifice, every hour of work suddenly has meaning. As the philosopher Seneca said, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. The wind of opportunity is blowing all the time, but it only helps the person who knows where they are trying to go. Why most people feel lost. Look around you. Most people are not living. They are just existing. They wake up tired, go to a job they hate, come home exhausted, scroll through their phone, go to sleep, and repeat. Studies show that a huge percentage of people dislike or even hate their jobs. Not because they are lazy or broken, but because they are living someone else's story. Parents told them to be realistic. Teachers told them to fit in. Society told them what was safe. So they drift. They follow the path in front of them instead of the vision inside them. And one day they wake up and realize, I built a life I never actually wanted. You deserve more than that. You were not born just to pay bills and disappear. You were not born only to meet the expectations of people who gave up on their own dreams. You were born with a unique combination of personality, pain, passion, and potential. That combination is not an accident. It is your clue. It is the universe whispering, this is where you are meant to go. Decide who you will become. Before you think about what you want to have, decide who you want to be. Money, status, and followers mean nothing if you hate the person in the mirror. Ask yourself, what kind of human being do I want to become? Strong or fragile? Disciplined or distracted? Courageous or comfortably afraid? Arnold did not start by saying, I want a nice car. He said, I will be Mr. Universe. I will be a movie star. I will be a leader. He built an identity first. The results followed. Steve Jobs did not start Apple to be comfortable. He was obsessed with building tools that would put a dent in the universe. He said, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. That crazy idea of yourself, the one you are almost embarrassed to admit out loud, is probably closer to your truth than the small identity you show to the world. So write it down, not as a wish, as a decision. I will become the person who finishes the hard things, keeps promises to themselves, turns pain into power, not excuses. Turn your vision into a target. A vision without a goal is just a fantasy. A goal without a plan is just a wish. But a clear vision, translated into specific targets, becomes a weapon. Arnold did not just visualize trophies. He counted reps. He measured progress. He knew exactly what weight he needed to lift, how much muscle he needed to build, and which competition he was preparing for. Every rep meant something. When his legs burned on the 500-pound squat, he did not say, "This hurts, I want to stop." He said, "This is one step closer to my title." He could smile in pain because the pain had a purpose. This is what you need: a vision that excites you, a goal that focuses you, and a plan that pushes you. Ask yourself, what is my Mr. Universe? What is the one thing that, if I achieved it in the next 3 to 5 years, would change my entire life? Write it down, make it specific. Not, "I want to be successful." Define it. I want to build a business that supports my family and gives me freedom. I want to become a creator whose words change millions of lives. I want to become so skilled at my craft that the world cannot ignore me. Then break it down. What must I do this year? This month? This week? Today? Greatness is not built in one day. It is built every day. Why hard work becomes enjoyable. People think champions enjoy suffering, that they somehow love the struggle. But the truth is simpler. They love the destination so much that the road, no matter how hard, becomes meaningful. Arnold trained 5 to 6 hours a day in the gym. He did thousands of repetitions, waking up early, lifting heavy, pushing through pain. And yet, people who watched him noticed something strange. He smiled. They asked, "How can you be smiling when you are working so hard?" He said, "Because every rep is bringing me closer to my goal." That is the secret. When you connect your daily grind to your deepest vision, you stop seeing work as a punishment. You see it as proof that you are serious. Michael Jordan missed thousands of shots in practice, and he was cut from his high school team. But he said, "I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Every miss was a rep. Every rep was one step closer to greatness. If your daily life feels meaningless, you do not need more motivation. You need a clearer vision and a deeper reason. Don't listen to the naysayers. There is one thing all great stories have in common: resistance. The moment you decide to live differently, you will be tested. People will project their limitations onto you. They will say, "Be realistic." That has never been done before. People like us don't do things like that. Arnold heard it all. When he said he wanted to be the greatest bodybuilder in the world, people said, "Impossible. You're from a small village. You have an accent. You will never make it." When he said he wanted to be an actor, they said, "Your body is too big. Your name is too long. Your accent is too strong. It will never work." But he did something powerful. Whenever they said, "It can't be done," in his mind he heard, "It can be done." When they said, "No," he translated it as, "Yes. Prove us wrong." Nelson Mandela once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Arnold decided he would be the person who does the impossible. His first movie, Hercules in New York, was a disaster. Critics laughed at his accent. People made fun of his body. But he did not stop. He took English classes, accent reduction classes, acting lessons. He studied, he practiced, he worked on his craft all day long. Eventually, he got roles in movies like Stay Hungry, Pumping Iron, and then Conan the Barbarian. The same body they said was too big became his greatest strength. The director even said, "If we didn't have Arnold, we would have had to build one." Later in The Terminator, the very accent people mocked became iconic. The director James Cameron said the movie worked because Arnold sounded like a machine. Do you see the pattern? The things that people attack in you today may become your greatest assets tomorrow, if you refuse to let them shame you into being smaller. So when they tell you you're too much, translate it as, "I haven't met someone like you before." When they tell you you're not enough, translate it as, "You are not what I'm used to, and that scares me." Their opinion is not your destiny. Turn your weaknesses into weapons. We all have things people criticize. Your background, your accent, your body, your past, your flaws. But history is full of people who turned these supposed weaknesses into unique strengths. Oprah Winfrey grew up in poverty and trauma. For many people, that would have been the end of the story. For her, it was the beginning. She turned her empathy, her pain, and her voice into a platform that touched millions of lives. Elon Musk was mocked for his ideas. Electric cars, reusable rockets, people laughed. Today, those ideas are reshaping entire industries. Your story may not be global, but it can be deeply meaningful. Your scars can become someone else's hope. Your accent can become your identity. Your past can become your power. The question is not, do I have weaknesses? The question is, will I let them define me? Or will I train until they become my advantage? Discipline, the bridge between dreams and reality. A vision without discipline is just a daydream. You can visualize all you want, but if you hit snooze every morning, nothing will change. Discipline is doing what you said you would do, long after the feeling in which you said it has disappeared. It is waking up when you're tired. It is studying when you'd rather scroll. It is practicing your skill when no one is watching and no one is clapping. Arnold treated his goals like a full-time job. 5 to 6 hours in the gym, plus classes, plus constant learning. He did not wait for motivation. He built routines. Ask yourself, what would the most successful version of me do daily? What time would they wake up? How would they use their phone? What would they eat, read, and practice? Then start behaving like that person now, not one day. Identity before results. Discipline before comfort. Your pain has a purpose. On the way to your vision, you will face pain, failure, rejection, embarrassment, loneliness. There will be days when you question everything. You will ask, is this worth it? Wouldn't it be easier to just be normal? Normal is easier. Normal is safer. Normal is also the fastest way to wake up one day full of regret. The pain you feel in growth is temporary. The pain of regret is permanent. Remember, every rep you don't want to do is building a future you do want to live. Every no you receive is making space for the right yes. Every closed door is forcing you to become strong enough to walk through the right one. When your body's tired, let your vision speak. When your mind says stop, let your future self whisper, keep going. I need you. Leadership and the next level. Arnold did not stop at bodybuilding and movies. He entered politics and became the governor of California. He could not run for president because he was not born in the United States, so he decided that leading one of the largest economies in the world would be his political summit. People told him to start small, to be realistic. They said, run for something local first, you will never become governor. He ignored them. He ran for governor, and in a matter of months, he won. Again, vision. Again, discipline. Again, refusing to listen to the people who say you can't. Your path may not be politics, but the principle is the same. Once you reach one mountain, another appears. Your job is not to stay comfortable at the top. Your job is to ask, how can I use what I've been given to serve more, to lead more, to become more? Leadership is not about titles. It is about responsibility. First, you learn to lead yourself. Then, as you grow, you naturally begin to lead others. So now, the question is not, can greatness happen? You have seen it. A kid from a small village becomes a global icon. A poor girl becomes a media queen. A quiet nerd becomes a tech titan. The question is, will you dare to believe that it can happen through you? Not because you are special in the way the world usually measures special, but because you are willing to do what most people will not. Define a clear vision. Translate it into specific goals. Work relentlessly. Ignore the naysayers. Turn your weaknesses into weapons. One day, people will look at your life and call it luck. They will not see the nights you almost gave up. They will not see the mornings you dragged yourself out of bed. They will not see the tears, the doubt, the failure. But you will know. You will know that every step, every rep, every painful decision was part of a story you chose on purpose. Right now, you are standing at a crossroads. One path is familiar, comfort, excuses, other people's expectations. The other path is harder, discipline, risk, growth, and a future you cannot fully see yet, but can already feel. Choose the path of vision. Choose the path of purpose. Choose the path your future self will thank you for. And the next time someone says to you, "That's impossible," smile. Because now you know the truth. It always seems impossible until someone like you does it.